The Garden Planner offers many different options for printing and sharing your garden plans. To see the printing options, open the garden plan you'd like to print, and click the Print Plan button on the toolbar. You can see that the default option is to print the plan on a single page. This scales the plan so that it just fits on one sheet of paper without distorting. So, if it's a particularly wide plan, it will scale to fit the width as shown here. Whereas if it's a particularly tall plan, it will scale to fit the height of the paper. Printing your plan on a single page is ideal if your garden plan is not much larger than 30 feet or 10 meters in either direction. For any of the printing options, you can choose the landscape paper orientation, which is good when printing wider plans. For example, there is little difference in the size of this printout because the garden plan is not much wider than it is tall. For plans much larger than 30 feet in either direction, shrinking them to fit one page can make the detail on the printout too small. That's when you'll want to use these other options, as they enable you to print your plan over several sheets of paper. Here are a couple of examples. This plan is very wide but not very high. If we just use the default option of Fit to Page, the resulting printout looks like this. But as you can see, it's quite small when shrunken down to fit a single page. To improve this, we can select the Landscape Paper Orientation option here. When you click OK, the Garden Planner will give you instructions for selecting landscape orientation. The method varies depending on the type of computer you have. If you have a Mac, the orientation option appears in the first print box that comes up. On a PC, the landscape setting will be somewhere in your printer's preferences, and you may need to look under the different tabs. Each printer has a slightly different printer preferences box on a PC, so this is just an example. The resulting printout and landscape orientation looks like this. Selecting landscape has improved the size, but because it's such a large plan, the objects are still quite small when shrunken to fit a single page. To increase the size further, we can select the Fit to One Page High option, which will fill the height of each sheet of paper. This will allow room for your plan to span across several pages along the plan's width, like this. The plan is now printed on 6 sheets of paper. By combining this option with landscape orientation, we can achieve something in between. The resulting printout is a good size fit of 3 printed pages, which is probably the best option in this case. Here's an example of the opposite type of plan, tall but not very wide. In this situation, the best option would be Fit to One Page Wide, which will fill the width of the paper and allow it to spill over onto several sheets downwards. In this case, landscape paper orientation will also work well. The resulting printout fits the width of the page and fills 2 sheets of paper, which is a good size. Along with the various options for printing your plans, the Garden Planner can publish a plan to its very own web page, which can be shared using email, Facebook, Twitter, or any other online service you use that allows you to share links. This is also the ideal way to view your plan and plant list from any mobile device, such as a smartphone or tablet, while you are in your garden. To do this, click the Publish Plan to Web button on the toolbar. The first step is to add information about your garden. You can add as much or as little as you'd like. In just a few clicks, your garden type can be specified by selecting from the available options. The more information you include, the easier it is for people to find your plan if you have selected to let others see your plans in your account settings. When you publish your plan to the web, the Garden Planner will convert it to an image. You can choose the quality of this image here. You'll want to use a smaller size if you plan to view it on a mobile device, or a larger size if you want to copy the image into a document. Once you've included all of the information that you would like to appear on your web page and adjusted your settings, click the Publish Plan button. Converting and uploading your plan will take a few seconds, and you can see the progress here. As soon as it's been published, the link to your plan's own web page will appear here. Click it to be taken to the page. Because this is a permanent link to your garden plan, you can now easily copy it into an email. Or you can click the buttons at the top to share your plan with friends and family online. By clicking the link to view the plan full size, you can download your plan as an image or print it directly from your browser. If you selected to include your plant list and notes, they will be available below the plan. Each plan you publish will have its own separate web page. If you make changes to your plan, just republish it in the same way to update the image.